pick up your new Coachman Lusso 3. We start the handover with going around the outside, show you features and facilities, and then we can go inside where I've got the heating on, which you'll be blessed to know.
Oh yes.
Because it's 5 degrees today and don't we know it.
Bring the heating on.
So, typical in your doorway, you've got a fly screen. Ideal for the summer. Just be careful if you have a dog, because the dogs don't often see this mesh and can run through. We've got a blind on the door, and you've got your bin here as well. Quite often they get knocked off, but they just clip back on again. Magnetic door catch, nice and easy to operate. However, just be careful, if the wind gets behind it, it can slam. There is, oops, throw your keys away, good start. There is an alarm also on your vehicle, so you can press one button to arm it. It's also put your awning light on outside. Press the unlock button to unlock it. If you press this button, you get one beep, it goes into pet mode. So it'll switch off the internal PIR sensor, but it'll still leave your tilt sensor. And again, off. And finally, this button will switch on and off your awning light. So you can wander up to your new van. If you've forgotten what it looks like, you can give yourself a quick flash. As we progress around the outside, we've got an external main socket. Remember, mains will only work when you're plugged in on the site to the hookup. Quite a few people have tried to run stuff without it. External gas barbecue point, which will run off your internal bottles.
Right.
Your caravan has had diamond bright protection, so the outside is silky smooth if you like to feel it. Really helps to keep them clean.
Oh yeah, it is,
Yeah.
isn't it? Lovely.
And the inside is all sprayed with the equivalent of Scotch Guard, so that's your carpets and your upholstery, and it comes with a warranty from Diamond Bright itself.
Excellent.
At the front here, we've got space for 2 gas bottles. I've just got one of mine in for demo purposes. Coachman are very kind, they have given you a new pigtail for propane bottles.
Oh, so there's a spare. Excellent. And they don't put a crash guard on this one, do they?
No, there's no crash sensor on this, it's a whale one. We've got Alde trailer control, which I'll talk about when we come to hook up. It's you've got to be very careful when you hook up, that you must make sure that you got your engine switched off. Otherwise we can trip out the ATC unit. And the opposite side, you've got your whole host of goodies that come with your caravan. So we've got 2 Alde wheel locks, great for insurances. You've got a new step. We've got an external shower point, ideal for washing your dog down, or your boots, or your pedal bike. We've also got a new hookup cable, and we've got a water cable as well. So if you go onto a super pitch, you can go direct from the site tap to your own tap. This caravan also has a built-in water tank, so I'll go through how to fill it and how to use it. Your caravan also has Alde heating, and it's the latest system, what they call the 3030. So that's actually got a larger hot water tank. It's now 10 litres. The previous one was about 9. We've currently got it running on electric, so you don't get anything off this flue. If you go onto gas, you'll get a bit of condensation forming around the outside. When we burn natural gas, it'll condense on the outside, water vapour will condense on here. So, shower. Clip off the little cover, pop in your shower. I'll try not to get you. Ideal just for washing shoes, etc. And again, just pop that off. Drain that off, pop that back in the front, out the way for you.
That's had a deleterious effect.
Okay, so water is via a whale electric pump. Drop this into your water tank. Insert the square piece and slide the top down. If you don't slide the top down, once it builds up pressure, it will pop off. As I said, if you're on a fully serviced pitch, you can also use the hose, and it clips in here as well.
Right.
Come further back to your battery box. So in here we've got the AGM leisure battery, which is recommended for your motor movers. Mains plugs in this side. Behind we've got the safety switch for your motor mover to turn the master on, and you've also got some external aerial connectors.
Right.
I'll show you the aerial connections once we get inside. Come further back. Twin motor movers. When we fit twin motor movers, unfortunately we do have to take off the rear mud flaps, but they've been put in the front for you in case you change your van and take your motor movers with you. These are fully automatic ones, so we'll demo that as part of your handover.
Lovely.
Under here we've got our 2 grey waste outlets. So one comes from your sinks, so that's your kitchen sink and also your hand basin. The other one comes from your shower. This is an external locker point, so this will give you access into your caravan, and you can see it actually comes with a new waste container. When caravans tend to come with an internal water tank, they will also come with a waste container. Chemical toilet, everybody's favourite. In the top here, this is your flush, so you're going to put fresh water and whatever you use as a rinse agent. Traditional colours are pink in the top, blue in the bottom. However, if you want to save the environment, they now have a green chemical which has less formaldehyde in it. Quite often they insist on you using it if you're going into Scotland, especially if they've got septic tanks.
Yes.
It is always pays to drain off the top tank in the winter because you don't want it freezing. And to drain it off, we've got a black pipe here. Just pull the bung off, drains the fluid out. The cassette itself is tucked right in here. Got to lift the T-bar. Need 2 hands for this one. Out she comes. It's a standard Thetford toilet.
Yep.
Forms a trolley. When you come to empty it, take the cap off, put it somewhere safe. This has got some fresh water in because we always check the flush. So I'll just demo how to empty it. Obviously this is just fresh water. So as you pour, press the pressure release button, out it'll come. Always remember to give it a rinse, put a new charge of chemical in, and you've got a measure in the cap.
Yes.
Always use a good quality toilet fluid.
We do.
It slides back in, right in the way. Make sure she locks in with a little T-bar.
Yep.
Always remember to lock your lockers as you go around. Come round to the back of your caravan. We need to fit your number plate. I've got some stickers ready for you.
For whatever reason, I thought it was going to be a changey roundy one. No.
And again, another locker under here. We've got some additional cushions in here if you want to make up the front double bed.
Right.
Again, just going to lock this up. So that concludes the tour, except for the fridge vents. So you've got some fridge vents here. Again, if you can reach up, you'll feel when you're running on electric, you'll get a bit of heat coming off it. If you go on gas, you might get a bit of condensation forming. If you're using an awning in the summer, try and remember to open the zips in the top of the awning to let a bit of air flow through. Also, the fridges will work better when it's really hot if you turn them down to half on number 3.
Yes.
We'll now go inside.
Good, because it's freezing out here.
It's not that cold. It's warm in here though. Welcome to your new van.
Lovely. Oh. There now.
Come on.
Is that better?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
It's gloriously warm.
It is lovely and warm. Just to the side here, we've got the control for the self-leveling. I'll do that when we go back outside and when we're going to hook on, but it's just to let you know where that thing is.
Yep.
The unit does actually lift out so you can walk around with it. You don't have to leave it in there. So when we've come in, our main control panels are up here. So this first panel is your 12 volt system panel. Okay, you can see it goes to sleep, so it's dark, and if we just press a button it'll wake up. So this little display in the middle shows us that we've got mains plugged in, and also that we've got no water in the onboard tank. At the moment we're not going to put water in because it's potentially going to freeze. We can alter the time by pressing the enter, and then we can set the clock.
Yes.
Press the enter again and we can set the minutes.
Yes.
This is your water pump switch. You need to switch the water pump on to get any water to flow. This is a master light switch. So if I switch this off, it kills every single light in the caravan. apart from the aircon one. This is an awning light switch, and it tells you here awning light on and off. And now we can use the arrows up and down to go through some of the other functions. So the first one, leisure voltage, plugged into the mains. The mains charger is it's charging your battery. It's also running your 12-volt systems. Internal temperature, about 22 degrees. That feels about right, doesn't it? It's nice and warm. Yeah. Water level, it is giving a little spurious reading of about 5%. There will be a little bit of water in there. Pump selection, so this is quite important. If you're going to pump water from your outside container to your tap, you select external pump.
Right.
If you're going to pump water from your external container to your onboard tank, you select external pump.
Right.
And then there's another feature further through that you need to go into. If you're going to use the water from your internal tank, hit enter and you'll now swap over to your internal pump.
Right.
So we'll go back to external pump and we'll come to this one, fill tank. So if I now hit enter, it will pump the water from your external water container into your internal tank. All right.
Okay.
And then you can go into settings where you can change the beeps, brightness of the screen. There's a few little things in there you can play with. So that's your basic control panel.
Quick question.
Yes?
With the hose connection to a tap,
Yes.
rather than the pumpy thing in the
Yeah.
bucket, which way do you have that set? Is that external
You
pump?
would set to external pump.
And if you are, so it just switches itself off automatically?
Well, there's no pump, is there? Because you've got your hose
Yes.
and the water pressure is in the hose.
Right.
So you don't actually need a pump.
No, I know that, but if you were filling the tank from the external.
Yeah.
So this is the only place where it differs from a motorhome
Right, so
for me.
if you're filling from an external source, you have the pump set to external.
Right.
And you can either use the pump or you could actually use the hose.
Right.
Because what it does, when you set external, it opens a solenoid to let the water flow into your onboard tank.
Right. Okay.
And does it switch itself off when it's full?
No.
No. Right.
You can watch the level. There's also an overflow as well, so you can see it flowing to the ground.
So if you're using, again, the water not in the tank, this is the bit I kind of get my head round.
Okay.
I'd kind of got it like the water tank was like the water holding tank you used to have in the loft at home.
Right.
And then as its level dropped, it filled from the mains, but you still used your tap. But this is not the same, is it?
No, you can buy a unit that would go into an aqua roll that works like that.
Right.
So it works exactly like a toilet cistern, and it would connect to a hose.
Right.
But because you've got a waterline kit,
Yes.
you just go from the hose and plug it into the side of the caravan.
Right.
And you just have the pressure feeding straight through. You don't need to mess about with pumps then, or containers.
And so, at that point, the onboard tank doesn't come into play.
No, not at all.
So
no.
if we're on a super pitch, the tank doesn't matter.
No.
Right.
If you're on any other pitch, you don't have to use the internal tank. You can still use an external water supply.
Right.
Now, the advantage, I think, with an internal tank is if it's really hot and sunny outside, you're going to get a lot of heat on an aqua roll or a water container. So if you put some water in your internal tank, because your caravan's nicely insulated, it'll help to keep that water a bit cooler for you.
Right.
Okay.
This is the change from motorhome into caravan, and it's so different.
Yeah.
It's not that different, but that
super
is.
pitch, use your hose.
Yes.
Any other pitch, put your tank outside, put your pump into it, and up here you have external pump selected.
Right. Internalised?
Yeah.
Clear as mud.
Absolutely.
It's like I said, it's just a change between.
It is. It's just practice as well, isn't it? Because it's, as you say, motorhomes. You've driven up, filled the tank, and you haven't really worried about it, have you?
That's right.
Well, here you're either going to have a water carrier outside, or be on a super pitch with a hose.
Yeah.
Well, when we had the Winchcombe, you see, that had the wheel system.
Yeah.
As well as an ordinary filler.
Yeah.
So you plug the wheel hose in.
Yeah.
It's still running off the water tank, but the wheel system would just keep it topped up.
Yeah.
That was all.
No.
That's
not
the
with
same
this
with
one,
this.
no.
No.
It'll fill your onboard tank and then the tank will overflow.
Right.
It doesn't cut off.
Right.
enough.
That's
Okay.
what I needed, because I had visions of a lake around. There would be a lake around the caravan.
Well, you will end up with a lake if you don't forget to close,
don't switch it off,
close your stuff outside. So that's your basic control panel. To the side of it, we've got our Alde 3030 panel. So this is the latest version of the Alde system. It's got a much larger hot water tank in it, so you've now got 10 litres of hot water compared to the previous one, which is 9. It's also got an Alde boost system as well. So they used to call it Alde Flow, where you had a separate little tank where it would give you continuous hot water. It's now all built into the same unit. Okay, so this is your control panel. Top here, we've got mains plugged in. Top right here, if I touch it, we've got to set the day and the time.
Right.
Because this new system has a 7-day timer.
Right.
Okay, the older system just used to have like a timer just on and off, on and off. Okay, well this now has a 7-day timer. So we can see at the moment, 24 degrees, the little pump, the little pump symbol is very sensitive. The little pump symbol tells me that the Alde fluid is being pumped around the radiators. To alter the temperature, touch this one and you got your temperature up and down. So see, because we're all cold in here, we'll leave it at 30 degrees, and believe me, it will get to 30 degrees at some point. This light actually works your AC light, so you can switch it on and off. See if you haven't got enough lights, and then you can dim it as well. Go back. Energy source. So on electric, you can use 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts.
Right.
To be honest, not many sites is going to let you draw 3 kilowatts on your electric, plus whatever else you're going to run in the van.
No.
For every kilowatt of electric, you're looking at about 4.5 amps, roughly. But we can also add gas. So you can run electric on its own, gas on its own, or you can have gas and electric together, and it'll use the gas initially to get you nice and warm, and then it prioritises and just uses the electric.
Right.
So it's a very, very clever system. If we just go to this second page, see, priority electric, high altitude mode. So if you're going away and you go above 1,000 meters, stick it into high altitude mode and it alters the burn ratio of the gas to air. Because obviously when you go above 1,000 meters, the air gets thinner. So it reduces the flow of gas. So you still get a good burn. And get back. My chunky fingers. Hot water. So this is where you've got water on, or you go into boost. So boost really means water priority. It switches your circulatory pump off for 30 minutes. This is when it also kicks in what we had before, as I said, the Alde Flow, which gives you continuous hot water. So if you're going to have some long showers, you put them on to boost.
But your limit's half an hour for your long shower.
For your long shower.
Hey, that's my hair's going to chip. Oh, right.
You're probably better not condition it that day.
No, I'm not.
So a couple of little features. If we hit menu, you've got pages and pages of menus here. So day modes and night modes. This is what I said about timers. You have a day timer and night timer. Remember to set it per day.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're not going to have any heat nor any hot water. A lot of the other things, you can control the aircon from here as well, but I prefer to control it from the handset. A nice little feature to look at is if we come down to system information. So, shows us that the glycol temperature, that's the Alde fluid, the pink antifreeze that's going through, is currently 71 degrees and the water is 70. So if someone has been in the shower a bit longer, you can have a quick look at this screen and think, that water's a bit cool, I'll just give it another 20 minutes to warm up. So it's a nice little one to know about. We're loads of information in here that you'll probably never use.
Yeah.
This system is what they put into the motorhomes that go around the Arctic Circle. In caravans, we only touch on some of the things that they can do. Fabulous system. You'll never cold with Alde. We do have smoke alarms.
Yeah.
And carbon monoxide alarms. I would normally test them, but I'm not going to do them when you've got the camera running, otherwise we'll be a little bit deaf. We've got various spotlights dotted around, and we've also got USB charging points in them. So you've got 4 nice little spotlights. TV stands on here, And inside the cupboard, we've got our TV points. These are just storage as you go around. There is built-in Wi-Fi up here, so you'll need a SIM card for that. You also get this little box. Don't get too excited. We've got some spare oil for the EP self-leveling, and in here is like a frame if you wanted to carry your self-leveling control in it, but most people don't need to do because they'll just plug it back in. But that's just some of the parts you get. Another cupboard there. Now every window has a blind and a fly screen, so, and these nice cassettes. Now I love how fine the mesh is in Coachman's. Unless you're actually looking to the side, you can hardly see it. There's only Coachman that I know of use these blinds, and I think they're absolutely awesome.
I'm having to get really up close to see it. To be honest, when I looked at it on camera, it looked as though there was nothing down.
There. Yeah. So very, very nice system. This is your Diamond Bright cleaning pack. So I've said outside, the outside has been paint sealed. The inside has been sprayed with the equivalent of Scotchgard. In here, you've got all sorts of sponges and cloths. And in the middle of here, you've got loads of shampoos and cleaners.
Am I right in thinking that that is a pink job?
No, it's a blue job, isn't it?
No, there's no such thing as pink and blue jobs now. It's more sort of mauve.
Well, no, because it means I'll do everything then.
So all sorts of cleaners in there. If you have an issue, mark on the upholstery, use the appropriate cleaner. If it doesn't work, you've got your guarantee number, phone up Diamond Bright, and they'll look after you from there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think we got an email from them, didn't we?
Should be registered.
Yeah.
Nice little feature is this movable buffet. And to stop it from moving, there is some straps, and it fastens up to this side.
Yes.
So it doesn't float around when you're travelling. If I can get you to jump up, because I've got to start showing you stuff under here now.
Right.
This way, back up. Good girl. Good girl. That'll do. That'll do.
There we go.
Now, one thing you'll find about Coachman is there's a myriad of light switches, and it'll take you a little while to find them all. And that's why I've said this switch up here, which kills every light, is very handy to know about, because one night you'll just give up and you'll just switch it off here. So as I said, light here at the door.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
we'll come to this corner. We have another 3 light switches. So we've got this one, which does your upper lights.
Okay.
Next one over does your front lights.
Okay.
Next one over does your pelmet lights. Okay. Come to the other side, we have another 2.
God.
So we've got this one here, which does underneath the kitchen. Yeah.
All right. Aye.
Yeah.
All the way down there. That one.
And
There.
this other side one does underneath your seating. So there's 6 light switches, and we haven't even covered half your van. Okay. So lots of things under here. They'll also give you here a nice little cubby hole,
Yes.
and there's also a wireless charging point here as well.
Yes. Ooh.
In the left hand corner here you've got a safe. So there's a built-in safe. This is your onboard water tank, and this is the drain. So we've currently got the drain open, that's why it's probably showing 1 or 2%.
Right.
If you need to clean the tank, you can get in from the top here as well to clean the tank. You can see the older radiators just in the back there. They go right round the caravan, and the way Coachman have them set, they've got vents for the heat to come out. They then go up the back of the cabinets.
Yes.
You'll see slots, and it comes out at the top. So you've got this flow of air that comes right round to keep you warm.
It's familiar.
If you're going to make the double bed up, this bit slides out.
Right.
So it'll slide out to about here. You then use these cushions and another extra cushion under the bed to make the bed up. white piece down here, this is your PIR sensor for your alarm. Now that's what I said you could switch off if you wanted to leave your dog inside.
Yeah.
Okay, chuck these across here.
The alarm isn't linked to any outside source, is it?
No.
No, that's fine.
No, we've got some more cushions to move. True. It's been knocked off. Clip on. No, we'll have to have that cut and glued. It's probably because of the heat on the back. Okay, so if I just stand back, you can see what's going on under here. So again, we've got the radiator at the front.
Yes.
Underneath, you've got a little row of white switches.
Uh-huh.
Those white switches are what they call auxiliary fuses. So any power that comes down from your towing vehicle goes through those auxiliary fuses.
Right.
So it'll be for your lights, to charge your battery, run your fridge, etc. You've got fuses. This big box here, this is your Alde heater unit. Coachman always put more drain valves in than any other manufacturer. So with this one, you've actually got 3 drain valves on it. You've got a freshwater drain valve to the front here. And you see it's in its closed position.
Yep.
And then here we've got another 2 drain valves, also in their closed position. They're both on the hot water circuits.
Right.
Down here, we've got our gas isolation valves.
I wondered where they were.
So if you can smell gas around an appliance, you can switch that particular gas flow off and still use it for everything else. These are your fasteners for your puff air. 2 blue boxes, brains for your motor mover.
All right.
And here we've got your BCA box. In the back is the battery charger. Across the top you've got your trips. In the bottom here you've got your fuses. Now finally, right away tucked in the back, we've got your solar panel regulator. And then we've got this emergency black button here. So this emergency black button is a withdrawal system. If the legs for the self-leveling stick for some reason, you can press and hold that button and it withdraws everything in case of emergency. A lot to take in the... Just chuck all these back again. I mean, that's a big chunk, look at that.
It's definitely chunky.
We've got kitchen extension here as well, give you a bit more space in the kitchen. And now we come up here. Stereo up here with DAB, plug in USB as well, and also got Bluetooth so you can play your music through it. Storage in the cupboards, TV aerial, TV booster, light switch for your service light which goes over your water container and your batteries. Now, remember I said outside there was electrical connections for your aerials?
Yes.
If you decide to use a super pitch and connect to their aerial, you're going to connect to the box there. You then need to take this lead here, so that goes to the external box, take off the antenna one, put that one in its place.
Right.
And that'll transfer the signal from outside through your booster to your aerial points. If you don't do it, you don't get a signal. Okay, how many light switches were we up to? Was it 6?
6. We're at 6 at the minute, yeah.
So we've got another 2 here.
Okay.
So we've got this one, which does round your doors, and you got this one, which goes above your unit. Now also under here, there's another touch light switch.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now this one's quite clever because when you find the power, you can actually make it dim.
Okay.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
So for those nice romantic nights, you can make it nice and dim. Now, Coachmans, as you know, are very heavy caravans. And the reason they're heavy is because of the weight of that laptop, of that. That is quite some weight, so be kind at Valentine's Day. Come round to your kitchen. We've got storage here. nice big pull-out area, and it is on a catch, so you push it in to lock it, and then you push it in again for it to release. And you can gain access from the front. Hello, Dougie. Hello. And from the side.
Come out the way, Kira.
We've got your drawers, and in here's a few of the goodies that come with it. So this is just the control box for your air conditioning. They give you this funny little scratchy pad. Okay, so that's a very fine abrasive. If you look at your sink, it's matte stainless steel.
Right.
If you leave a bowl in it and it shakes, it'll polish it. So you can use that to make it matte again.
Okay, right, fair enough.
We've got the gas barbecue spigot for your external gas barbecue, and we've got some screws for your TV bracket. Well, the hot water has been on. We've already seen that this will heat up currently to 70 degrees. And it's also one of these flexible taps. So if anyone's brave enough, you can see it's still got a bit of air in the system, but you can see it's steaming. Well, sort of flat. Do you want to put your fingers in?
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, lovely and hot, isn't it? Okay. Come to the cooker. Guess what we've got? Yet another light.
Oh my God, how many more?
And you've got an extractor fan built in as well. So when you're cooking, it will just help to remove any steam out of the caravan. Above it, what's fitted to all caravans now, flatbed microwave, so you don't need to worry about turntables. Next to it here in this big cupboard, you've got storage for your cups and plates, and you've also got a draining rack for when you're washing up. That's a blue job, I understand.
No.
That's a blue job.
Supposed to be.
It is, yeah.
Never is.
One cooks, the other one washes up. Those are the rules.
I cook.
No, because he
I
cooks,
cook.
but never washes up.
Thank you very much.
Electric one at the back. Remember, you must be plugged into the mains. I have had people phone up and say, I can't get my cooker to work or my toaster to work, and they're not plugged into the mains.
Yeah.
We have gas rings. So the gas rings have electric ignition. They've also got what we call gas fail-safe. So if you light them and don't hold it long enough for the little thermocouple to warm up, it won't stay lit. So that's a brilliant safety feature for young children, because it means if they've come across, accidentally turned the gas switch on, they're not going to cause any problems. Same with your grill. You can hear that's lit up. Okay.
Yep.
And what's the last thing you need in your oven? Another light. But they give you one anyway.
Useful. No, they are useful.
And there's your oven lit up. Another nice little feature, Coachman always give you 2 shelves.
Yes.
A lot of the other companies don't. Under here, just a bit more storage. Okay, we just go opposite.
Fan forced oven.
This is a cocktail cabinet up here. So you put your glasses in and your bottle of whiskey.
Gin.
And you put your gin in as well.
Definitely gin.
We've got more storage. And again, push to release, push to lock back in, and a bit more in the bottom, and your freestanding table should you need it. Again, a bit more storage up here, and super sized fridge freezer.
Oh, it's got little stoppy folly outy things on the front, look.
Them bits,
Yes.
little stoppy folly out bits.
Yeah.
Again, top of the line fridge freezer. So, power switch. Press and hold this one to alter anything. So the first one, easiest setting, A for automatic.
Yes.
Automatic looks for your power source, but what we're going to do, we're also going to move it across as it's a demo to show it can light on gas. Press again, got your thermostat up and down there. Now it will auto light on gas. If for some reason
Come here.
you run out of gas or you forget to turn the gas on, it will fault and this little blue light here will turn red. Okay, which means it's gas locked out. Go and change your bottle, turn your gas on, switch it off, switch it back on again. That resets these fridges.
Right.
Unlike the Dometic ones where you actually have to do a gas lockout sequence. This tells me that the frame heater is switched off. So these fridges have got a bit of a frame heat around here to stop the ice forming around the fridge. There you go. So it's up and running on that now.
Shut up with stuff.
Above our heads here, we have your aircon. So Truma aircon, I always find it easy to use the remote control. So blue button, point towards this bit, just switches on. We can then set the temperature up and down. We can alter the fan speed. If I nip down this piece, you can set the clock, so you can set timers as well. So if you go out for the day, you can set the aircon to come on maybe half an hour before you come back home. To alter the flow, we have this little lever here. So at the moment it's set in the middle, so it splits the flow of air. If I push the lever to the front, it now pushes all the air to the back. Similarly, push it the other way, forces all the air to the front. So you can actually fine tune where you want the air to go. You've also got these controls here as well, and these here. So you can actually direct the air around to where you want it. I'm just going to switch this off. Point towards it, easy way to switch it off. And I'm going to stick that in your kitchen cupboard. I'm pleased you're recording this so you know where I've put it. Because I often get phone calls. Where did you leave such and such? Okay, come to the...
I think she's
found her bed.
looks that way.
Yeah.
That's my bed. Get off.
To the boudoir.
The boudoir.
Right.
We have a divider here. Now the divider actually clips in top and bottom. It feels a bit strange, but you clip them in and out. Come across, holds on a magnetic tag here.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are just all storage. As we go up and down, you've got your TV bracket here. Remember, with TVs, you should always lift them off, depending on the weight of your TV, because we are just screwed through to some quite thin wood. So that pops on. Controls there. Again, you've got your spotlights at the top. So you've got your little spotlights, again with USB chargers, and you've got shelves there to put your phones on when they're on charge. I can just squeeze past. Look what we've got down here. More light switches.
Oh, bloody hell.
So we've got two either side.
Right.
So they both do the same. What the hell's that one doing?
I don't know. I can't say past
So this is doing your low level lights.
Yep.
Is that switching the bathroom on and off?
No.
No?
Behind you.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Behind the
Headboard light
Yeah.
Headboard light.
for me.
Yes.
And you've also got headboard light, and you've got a switch to do your low level light as well.
All right.
So there's another 4 light switches.
So is there a light switch back here that closes all the front lights off?
No.
That's the laboratory light.
Yeah. It's the two there, just one.
Just the one.
Just the one. So we're looking for a light switch to do these upper ones. And I've never spotted one yet. This'll be your first night away. You know I said about the emergency one?
Yeah.
We've had a travel master, so this is nothing.
Yeah, well the Travel Masters are all nodal as well, aren't they?
Tell me about it.
It'll be... Oh, hold on. Hold on. No.
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 What about... No.
No.
So there's a prize to the first person who finds the light
Oh,
switch.
hang on. What was the one for above there?
That
That was number 3 there, wasn't it?
one.
No.
No, and that one's...
No. Must be that side then.
No,
No.
those are the floor level ones. No, that's above. And that's below.
There has to be one somewhere.
There's got to be...
We'll find it eventually.
Ah, hold on. I know where they are. So, if you just sit on your bed, look up,
Yeah.
next to your lights. There you go.
That one.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah. So you've got the master switch there for your upper lights. Had to be one
they
somewhere. Yeah,
Just the one set of them.
just the one, yeah.
Oh, that's you in charge of the lights on a night.
Well, you've got headboard lights and everything else. Nice little thing about the door catches. See the way they're magnetic and they come away, they stick in. So when you shut the door, clips out. When you open the door again, catch goes flush so you don't catch it. Into the bathroom. You've already found the light switches. So in here, we've got nice big wardrobe.
Yep.
In here is what we call the Alde header tank.
Yes.
So that's currently got the G13 Alde fluid in it. Just make sure it's between minimum and maximum. They usually put a little bit extra in when the vans are new because there might be a little airlock somewhere. If it drops below minimum, just top it up. If you're away, can't get hold of anything, just put some water in. This fluid's go to about -26. You know, I said about going around the Arctic Circle?
Yes.
That's why it goes to -26. Nice big wardrobe, again, with its own lights in here, as if you didn't have enough lights.
Yep.
Towel rail. Now, just be careful because these do get very hot. We've already seen that the fluid's about 70 degrees, so this will get hot. Now this tends to be one of the highest points of the system, so there's a little drain valve on there. So if that top couple of rungs get a bit cool, just drain a bit of air out of it. Typical toilet, swivel to get a comfy position, open your trap, do what you need to do, couple of pushes of the flush and shut your trap. Little light comes on when it's time to empty the bottom cassette. Like all new good caravans, little free sample of blue and pink. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Thetford. Again, running water at the back here, hot and cold. Flexible tap again, and you get a white plug. It's the only sink that you get a white plug for.
Okay. Yeah.
First time I've seen that.
Storage in here. And we have a typical caravan shower, very, very strong magnetic catch on here. That's not going to move. Standard shower, nice area to be. They do have this little pull down drying rail here as well, so you can put wet coats on, etc. Just be careful because it is just plastic. Okay, above our heads, roof vents. Remember, do not travel with the roof vent open. This one, to open it, you're going to squeeze the two handles and then pop it up, but you can go any angle you want to. Again, little fly screen and blind for a night time. Come to the next roof vent back. These work slightly differently with this one. Press the button, up she goes. So you can have it fully open. You've also got these locks at the side. So if you want to, just bring it halfway. You can lock it off. And that position just helps to stop it from rattling. And again, shut it all the way, and you've got blind and fly screens. That's your the internal of your caravan.
Excellent.
That's it.
We shall have a break before I bore you with the outsides. So we currently have the caravan already on its self-levelling. We're now going to demonstrate how to take it off the self-levelling, how to put it back on again, and some other little tricks you can do with it. So I'm going to just take out the remote control. Which is this little unit here. It charges when it's in its little base. Now you can see we've got a manual side and we've got an automatic side. If I just go into automatic first of all, we've got 3 buttons across the bottom. We've got auto level, retract, so that retracts all the legs, and a home button. So before we do anything, we're going to press the button and this is going to retract all the legs. And it does it in order, and also if you look at the remote control it tells you which ones it's doing. So at the moment it's doing the front legs. Now it's doing the back legs. And finally, it's doing the centre arms. When it stops beeping, it's all fully retracted. That's it. Remember, there's an additional switch inside under the bunk, black button, which are also retracted, but you've got to keep your finger on it. Now, with the auto levelling, we always have to have the nose of the caravan low.
Yes.
If we don't, and when you've unhitched, I'll just wind the nose up again to about the height you would have for unhitching. When we go onto the auto side, for auto levelling, it warns you, nose is too high. So it won't do the auto level.
The jockey wheel.
So lower your jockey wheel down. And then we can press the auto again, and it's now started. If for any reason you need to do an auto stop or emergency stop, you press the stop button. If you've ever stopped it, you then need to set it to withdraw all the legs before you start again. So as we see, it's now taken down your legs, across the rams down either side of the wheels. It's now doing the front ones. And now it's finally doing the back ones. No, it's actually doing the middle again, sorry. It's having a bit of adjustment to itself. Front again. And finally the back. That's it, fully levelled. So again, we can come back to home and automatic, and now we're just going to withdraw it again. So again, just press the button to withdraw. And it goes through the sequence again.
Do you know what makes me smile? This is way cleverer than the 4-point E&P levelling system
Right.
put on motorhomes.
Okay.
But it's half the price.
Yes, well, it's just the way it works, isn't it? It's funny because we always tell people, don't use your stabilisers to level your caravan, and then you buy this system and it uses the legs or the stabilisers to level your caravan, but it's designed to do it. It's strengthened.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your basic operation. Now, we can do some other little tricks with it. Just wait until it totally resets itself. It's still withdrawing. So, for example, if we have the jockey wheel too low and we can't get enough height on it to hitch on, if we come to the manual side, we can manually put the front legs down. So I'll just hold on to that. If I take my hand off, it stops. Put it back on again. So now we're lifting the front, so we can actually drop the jockey wheel further through if we couldn't hitch on.
Clever.
Very clever. Go back to home, automatic side again, withdraw, and it's just going to drop it back down to where it was. Okay, another nice little feature is if you need to put your Alde wheel locks on.
Yes.
So we can go to manual, and we're going to put the Alde wheel locks on this side, the near side. Remember, they've got to be mounted through these points here. So they go through the wheels. It blocks 2 of the wheel nuts. Now, obviously, we can't spin them round. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jack up this side. So this ram is going to come down just on this side. And again, got to keep my finger on it. If I take my finger off, it'll stop. So now it's starting to lift the caravan, it'll stop. Press it again, and it'll lift again. So you can see those wheels are now turning. Also ideal if you need to change a spare wheel if you get a puncture. So there's your caravan right up in the air. You could take the handbrake off, turn your wheel to put your wheel locks on.
Yes.
And again, to get it to go down, back to home, back to auto, and retract. And we just leave it to do its thing.
I had wondered about that. Now I know.
Now you know. Excellent, excellent piece of kit. Come in very handy, especially to put on your Alde wheel locks.
Yes.
People who've normally got twin axles, they've got to get a jack out and try and turn the wheels. You can cheat. You can just get your auto leveling system to lift it up for you.
Yes.
Now it's all done. I'm just going to put this back in the holder. And I'm going to send you off to go and get your car. And if you'd like to reverse towards the front of your caravan, but give us some space so we can show you how the motor movers work.
Okie dokie. You going to bring it or shall I? Okay, sweetheart.
Shining people's balls.
No, there's a thought.
There's an offer you probably haven't had. So yeah, we'll always make sure that your toe ball is clean of paint and any rust, because the front of your Alde hitch, there is 2 friction pads in here, and if you don't have a clean ball, you will contaminate the pads. It will reduce the effectiveness of the hitch stabilizer, and it'll also groan. So if you do contaminate them, get some spray brake cleaner, just give it a spray inside. That'll wash the contaminant off the friction pads. But at the moment, I'm just taking paint off this one, which is always a shame, but needs to be done.
And no greasy balls anymore.
No greasy balls in sight. Clean, shiny balls, sir. That's what you need.
Now, dear viewer, I'm going to point out, as a man of a certain age, as Benson has pointed out earlier on, we always used to grease our balls, but apparently that was in the days before traction control for caravans, or is it what
stabilizers?
Stabilizers.
Alde stabilizers.
Alde stabilizers.
You
Yes.
do have traction control on this one of sorts. Alde trailer control, which is an anti-snake device, which we'll cover a little bit when we actually get hitched up. So there we go. Just taking the majority of the paint off the places that it tends to grip onto. All right, just get rid of my sandpaper. I'll be back. So you've opted for a fully automatic power touch motor mover. Great system. Come with a 5-year warranty direct with Truma themselves. Because it's fully automated, it uses the battery power to engage the rollers. Now, if your battery fails and your rollers are engaged, you've got this handy little T-bar, and we'll come to the side, and on each individual unit there's a white cap here. The white cap would be taken off, the T-bar would be inserted, and you manually have to rewind each individual unit. But because we've got a good battery, we use the battery power. So the first thing we need to do is switch the power on the isolator here. So that's put the power on from your battery to the blue boxes which are under your bunk.
Right.
We now need to switch the handset on. To switch the handset on, 2 power buttons together. We now need to instruct it to engage the rollers. To engage the rollers, centre button and green. Press it once together, you'll see the LEDs are tracking across. And if you come, you can actually see the rollers tracking in. But rather than bending down all the time, the easiest thing to do is look at your handset. When the rollers are fully engaged, all the LEDs will light up and flash about 5 times. So that's the rollers in place. We can now actually use these 2 controls as speed controllers. So it always starts on its fastest speed. You can actually slow the speed down a little bit, helps twin axles getting into tight corners.
Right.
Because they never turn as well as a single axle. Now, because we've got the rollers engaged, we can take the handbrake off, because it's not going to roll anywhere. So, shows the front of the caravan. We can send her backwards off to the left, backwards up to the opposite way. We do the same coming forwards. What you've got to realise is the right hand button will actually send the caravan off to the left, because what you're doing is you're applying power to the right hand side rollers. So if I press that right hand button, van comes towards the left.
Right.
Often confuses people. It's a bit like tiller steering in a boat, or counter steering on a motorbike.
On a motorbike.
Funny you should mention that. So I'm just going to bring it all the way forward now. And we are looking to get this black spot in line with your tow bar and in the centre. I've gone way off. Pull it over. Oh, about there? About there, I think.
Should be.
So now wind down the jockey wheel. Excuse the tractor, and we get a nice positive click. When we've got a click, if we look, we have a small indicator, green here. That means it's engaged. So we have a tow ball, and you have a locator that locks around the outside. If you'd hit the top of the locator, it would have spun round, and you would have had a full green indication here. So this shows we're on properly. Now, I always like to do what I call the idiot's check. So the idiot will wind the jockey wheel back up again, as if he's taken the caravan off, and it starts to lift your vehicle. So you know you're on good and solid.
Right.
When you actually want to disengage, lift this lever up, wind your jockey wheel, and off she pops. Okay?
And that clicks into place on that side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So drop her back down again. Everything's new and stiff. Locks on. Again, I'm going to do my idiot's check. Lifts your van, you know you're good. So I'm only going to put the jockey wheel away at this point. On the outer sleeve of the jockey wheel, there's two slots. We need to make sure we get the arms of the jockey wheel in them slots, because that locks it and stops it from rolling down. And we're going to lift that up out the way. Again, now we're locked onto the caravan, we need to disengage the motor mover. So to disengage the motor mover, we're now going to press the centre button and red. And you can now see the little LEDs are tracking the opposite way. And if we go and look at the mover itself, you'll see it's coming away. But again, if you just want to watch the handset will light all the LEDs up, and I think again it flashes about 7 times this time. Or more. So it's
12.
Now 12. It's enough. So it's now fully disengaged. We can now switch the handset off because we're finished with the handset. To switch the handset off, we can press either power button. If we forget to switch the handset off, it will auto switch off and go into battery save mode.
Right.
We must, however, remember to switch off the power to the motor mover. And we just leave that key in there. And because leisure batteries are expensive, we're just going to lock this up out the way. I'll hand this remote over to my glamorous assistant, your wife.
Hello, glamorous assistant.
We can now finish hooking up. So we have what we call a breakaway cable. If for some reason the caravan comes disconnected from the tow car, this will pull the brakes on and snap. Some tow bars have got slots at the sides here for putting the cables on. If you don't have a slot, people just put them over the tow bar.
Yes.
We now need to engage the stabiliser. So as I say, when we push this handle down, it will engage the stabilisers. It will push those 2 friction pads onto your clean shiny ball. It's quite stiff. Okay, and when we want to disengage, it's a good tug up.
Right.
It's as simple as that. All you're doing is you're applying the pads onto the side. And the last thing we have is the power cable for your lights. So we're just going to bring this round. These are the 13 pin ones that were introduced first from Europe. So we used to have 7 pins. We then had 2 7 pins. Now we have a 13. So
Because 2 7s is 13.
it's because we don't have as many earths as we do. So push it in, quarter turn.
Oh, I heard a nice little bizz there.
So that little noise, that's really stiff that because it's new. That's it. That noise was your Alco trailer control doing its self-test. It is principally pushing the shoes onto the drums to make sure they reach. If it does reach and it's happy, self-test will prove positive and you'll get a green light. It'll either be flashing green or steady green. If it fails its self-test, this LED will stay red.
Right.
So it's not happy, especially if your caravan's been standing, the brakes might just be a little bit stuck. Take out your power, the 13 pin plug, pull your handbrake on and off a couple of times quite hard, because that just helps to move your shoes again. Plug your electrics back in again, it should do its self-test. If it still fails, it means the ATC unit has locked out. If it does lock out, unfortunately, you've got to bring the caravan back into us. We take the ATC unit off and send it to Alco. They reset it, we'll fit it. You are still safe to tow because there's big, heavier caravans than this with the stabilisers. You've also got twin axles, so it's a really, really safe unit. This is just an added luxury. It really is.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Always, always remember to have your vehicle switched off before you plug your electrics in or disconnect them. Otherwise, you can spike the voltage into the system. We now need your glamorous assistant to jump in and we're going to do a light check.
Can I just ask, what's that red button on the top floor?
That just shows that it's connected. See the little green bit underneath?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
just
I
shows
can
that it's
see it.
You just
attached.
need to see a bit green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What do I need to do?
if you're going to go in, switch the ignition on, we're going to stand at the back, and this is the only time we are allowed to shout at you without you getting upset.
But don't start it. Right.
So if we have the ignition on, please.
Just a sec.
Okay.
Don't start it.
How do I switch it off then?
That's it. Right. Just take your foot off the brake. Now press the button. That's it. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, if you've got a Mercedes, don't put your foot on the brake when you're trying just to start it without starting the engine. Do that, it's fine. Okay.
Okay. So if we can have a left indicator, please. Left indicator.
Yeah,
Right indicator, please. Lovely.
yeah,
Brake lights. So you've also got an upper brake light,
Yeah.
2 lower ones.
yeah.
Side lights.
You've got to,
Lovely. Rear fog lights.
find them.
You might need your headlights on for rear fogs.
I'll go and have a look.
Yeah, you might need your...
It's a new vehicle, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. All the way. No, just.
You might need the engine running for,
Yes.
for these.
Start, yeah, just press the button again.
With my foot on the
Yes.
Headlights on, that's it. That's your rear fogs. Wait till he comes back. He's getting his steps in today.
You weren't kidding.
So, nice bright rear fogs. And finally, reverse please.
Keep your foot on the brake.
Reverse.
Just put it into reverse. Oh, it won't with the door open.
All right. Nope.
No.
It's on the right hand column, isn't it? Right, so you've got reverse lights on your vehicle, but not on the caravan. Okay?
Right.
So, it can either be two things. I'll think it'll be the wiring on your vehicle. So what I'll do is I'll go and get what we call a light box,
Okay.
and I disconnect your car, plug it into our light box, and then I'll go through and check your lights on your caravan.
Right.
And that then proves that it might not have been quite wired up, or they might have missed a wire. Okay? So if she switches off, switch off again please. So this is the piece of equipment we use to check caravans to make sure all the lights are working. So this replaces your vehicle.
Is it switched off, love?
Yeah, it's as long as the engine's not running. So disconnect it, plug it into here, switch the power on, and now we can test various things. So each individual switched individually. So we've got near side lights, which is, you can see from up here,
Yep.
offside lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go at the back and I'll shout to you? So that should be your left indicator, the right indicator, the fog light, the reverse light, and finally your brake lights. Yeah, so it's all tested through the box. I think there must be a wire off on the wiring for you.
Right.
Okay. So as long as you know.
That's back to Mercedes. Thankfully, reverse light is not a legal requirement.
No.
bonnet with all the lights on.
So again, I'll just plug this back in here.
Now there's the
ATC's done
red
its little
light's gone
self-test.
green.
It's happy. If I can just get you to do the light check while I take the light box back, okay?
right.
So this is part of your, every time you hitch up and plug in, you need to do a light check.
Yep. Right indicator. That's left, right. Brakes. Hazards. Headlights. All good.
Okay?
Yep. all
Don't go
good.
running off. I do one final check before you drive away.
Right.
Still got to stick your number plate on,
Oh, shite.
but we do a wheel nut torque check. So we've got a torque wrench set to 130 Newton meters,
Right.
which is what the caravan wheels should be torqued up to. And we just show you that they have been torqued up to the correct torque setting. I do get you to sign the form to see that you've seen your wheels tightened up. It's also a nice little safety thing. And round the other side. And while we're here, our customer support team live in this bottom building. They deal with any issues after you leave us today. Should you have any problems, warranty, etc. You do need to have an annual habitation check, which for ourselves is £349. It is a little bit dearer. It takes about 4.5 hours, but you do have 4 sets of wheels to take off, hubs to check, brakes to check, etc. Warranty periods on Coachman are basically year 1, covers things like blinds, handles, clips, plastics. Year 3 is appliances, so that's your heater, your fridge, your cooker, your microwave, and your year 10 for water ingress.
Super duper. I should get the number plate.
Get the number plates. I've got some stickers ready.